You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys. Good morning. Super excited about having some great guests for you guys on the podcast as of late. A lot of folks have a lot more time this time of year. Some of us are slowing down, not as much grass to cut or snow to plow. So we are able to get a couple more of you guys on the show. This time of year, though, I would imagine it's probably a different conversation. These guys are probably quickly ramping up, and it's their busy season. So we're joined by Carsa. Today we're joined by Carla and Joseph over there at Cycle CPA. Really excited about having them joining us on the show and sharing a little bit of their expertise and background, especially talking about all things bookkeeping. So, Carla, Joseph, how you guys doing this morning today?
Hey, Brian, doing good. And you're right, we're busy getting ready for tax season, and we're excited for it. So thanks for having us on.
Hey, Brian. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. By the way, now, have you guys had your baby or baby due any second now, or where are we at? I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Baby's still cooking.
Yep. Okay.
We're due at the end of April. So.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right after tax season. Don't ask if that was planned.
Hey, you guys are planner types, so, there might have been a little plan in there because my wife and I had our baby boy crew at the beginning of April, and that was a super exciting time to have a child. So, or actually, it's sometime in April. I don't even know. It's April 2nd or April 29th. I'm already doing that stuff. It's such a shame. But we did not plan as well. We had a baby right at the beginning of spring rush, and then also my foreman got hurt, and he was out for about 3 weeks. So that went from bad to worse real quick. So 23 has been a wild year. But, well, congratulations. We're super excited for you guys. It's going to be a game changer. You guys know that. Super smart to wrap up tax season and bookkeeping season, quote unquote, and then give you guys a couple months to at least catch up with the newborn. So that'll be exciting stuff.
For sure. Yeah, no, definitely looking forward to it. And, super excited. So.
That's awesome. Well, we're not going to do a huge, lengthy episode for you guys today. I don't want this to be a pitch fest. I never want it to be a pitch fest with any companies or brands or folks that we partner up with. But man, I tell you, I do love having the different companies on, the different partners, affiliate partners, bookkeepers, equipment companies to help you guys grow and give you the tools and resources. I've been saying a lot. Let's not reinvent the wheel. Business is a pretty perfected thing these days. Sometimes you need to just know a couple more things, or you need to hire a couple more key people. Tom Wheelwright, one of our regular guests in the show with Robert Kiyosaki and those guys, he said, business is a team sport. And the 3 or 4 most expensive words in the English language was do it yourself. So here's what we're going to talk about today is all things bookkeeping. Super practical topic. I know a lot of you guys are probably getting your taxes figured out, your bookkeeping figured out, myself included. It's a continuous conversation, obviously, as small business owners. So before we kind of go down and maybe unpackage some frequently asked questions that we get from Carla and Joseph with Cycle, can we just get you guys' background for a couple minutes? A lot of you guys people have heard of you guys or have heard me talk about you guys of late. Last 2 or 3 years since we've really been partnering up and you guys doing our books. But who is Cycle CPA? Where did you guys come from? Maybe Carla, I'll lead it off with you if you want, because I think you're maybe one of the people that first got started with all this.
Yeah, no, I'm the CEO and one of the CPAs here at Cycle, and I got started off like most accountants do at a local firm, and we were handling everything there from like bookkeeping, taxes, and I was handling every industry. So went from talking to a restaurant owner to a gym owner, stuff like that. But I always felt kind of like out of place there because I wasn't really able to help the business owners how I wanted to, or give them that time that they needed to make good decisions based off of their financials, because we were just like pumping out tax returns and financial statements and stuff like that. It was like about quantity rather than quality. Mm-hmm. So while I was there, it just happened to be because of the demographic. It was a Hispanic community, so there was a lot of landscapers around. And I got to know their recurring issues and became really passionate about helping that specific industry. So then when Joe and I wanted to start our own business, we know that we wanted to really focus in on this industry. So that's what we do. We do anything from bookkeeping all the way to CFO and tax services. And we just specialize within the green industry.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you guys have quite a few hundred accounts now, companies that you guys get to measure against. I think that's one of the most exciting things about Cycle CPA is that you guys have a large data set to pull from.
Right. Yeah, which is super exciting because like everybody wants to know, okay, how do I measure up against my competition? And we have it split up between different services within the green industry. So we have like maintenance benchmark, hardscape benchmark, irrigation, arbor, all of that good stuff. So
that's awesome.
It's nice to be able to really give that like insight on, okay, you need to fix these 3 issues because you're falling behind in the industry and stuff like that. So it's been a great tool for us to be able to do that.
Amen. Yeah. So here's just some context for you guys listening in. The reason I love having Carla and Joseph share on, and I'll get Joseph's thoughts on that in a second too, because he's really helped take the company to the next level the last couple of years with Carla, is when you're building your team, you have your bookkeeper, your CPA, your payroll company, your banker, your insurance agent, and, hundreds of other folks along the way. Having somebody do your books is incredibly important. Some folks love getting down into the thick of it, the muck and the mire of QuickBooks and categorizing things. And for me personally, as an owner, in my personality type, I just need the high level data. I just need the pulses, right? Checking the pulses of the business, where we at. I need those reportings, and then I need things compliant. And then I need to be able to take them to my CPA because he's going to prepare my taxes off my books. And then I also need good books because when I go to my banker, they're the ones typically outside of my tax returns. They're looking for my books and saying, hey, what's the business look like? So bookkeeping and having good books has been one of the, if not the single best investments Liz and I have made since we kind of got our ship more righted late 2017 into 2018. I can't be more excited about talking about Cycle and the services that they offer. I will just say loud and clear, if you need a good bookkeeper, check them out. Not only are they just salt of the earth people, super kind, very credentialed and very helpful, but they're passionate about helping you guys really get a handle on your business, stop living in fear of what your financials look like or your compliances look like, or if you ever get audited or something like that. They're here to help you with a lot of that kind of stuff. But then number 2, really help you with your finances of your company so you know what the heck is actually going on and not just living out of what I have coined for a long time, the shoebox full of receipts. And I actually just saw a Facebook post this morning. I'm not sure which one of you guys might have added it to the group, but it was like, hey, we have more top line revenue, but less cash flow. We think business is doing good, but is business actually doing good? And it's like, those are FAQs. Those are always things that we're always talking about as we're trying to grow our company as business owners. So, Joseph, I'm going to kick it back to you. I kind of steamrolled there for a second. I apologize, but I get so excited about talking about your guys' services. And at LAL, you might have saw, you guys were there to share and we had you in as a guest partner. Didn't charge you guys anything for that. I just said, please come and advise and help. And you guys did a 25-minute presentation. And I just raised the audience hands. I said, quick little poll, straw poll. How many people here have a bookkeeper? And it was like half the audience. And I said, how many people here don't have a bookkeeper? I don't know if you remember this, Joseph. And the other half of the audience raised their hand. And I said, you have no excuse, right, moving forward to not have an in with a good quality bookkeeper that's industry specific, that knows you and can help you grow. And I remember 20 people flooding the booth because I think we broke for lunch. And so I'm hoping a bunch of people came your guys' way to advise and to be able to help and have Cycle partner up with them. So Joseph, what's your thoughts on all that, man? I know I'm steamrolling here a little bit. I do get really excited about bookkeeping because I know how much it's made an impact in changing Liz and my life and finances.
At L'Entrepreneur Academy, we believe in a community where success is amplified, not diminished by helping others. Introducing the L'Entrepreneur Academy Link membership, your ticket to a thriving lawn care business. Join our exclusive L'Entrepreneur Academy Link Facebook group where like-minded entrepreneurs share insights, advice, and encouragement. It's not just a group, it's a family dedicated to your success. As a Link member, you'll enjoy monthly hangouts to connect with fellow lawn care professionals, bidding hour calls to sharpen your business acumen, and enlightening lessons from industry experts in our monthly guest expert series. And here's the icing on the cake, our monthly group coaching calls where your specific challenges are addressed and you receive personalized guidance to excel in your business. Yeah, there's more. Gain exclusive access to the lessons from Brian, the mastermind behind L'Entrepreneur Academy. With call records, PDF recaps, and more, you'll have a treasure trove of resources at your fingertips. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to revolutionize your lawn care business. Join L'Entrepreneur Academy Link membership today, and let's grow together. Visit L'Entrepreneuracademy.com and sign up now or use the link in the podcast description. L'Entrepreneur Academy Link, your link to success.
Yeah, no, I think those are great points, Brian. And, I think even kind of, piggybacking off the point you had made, when you're going to your banker, right? Or even just for the IRS perspective and, getting the taxes done. I think that's ultimately what a lot of people, I think about bookkeeping and accounting and just getting the taxes filed. And that's what that initial thought is, right? Is getting some of the compliance items handled, right? Making sure you can get a loan. But there's another huge piece of it that I think is a big area of opportunity for companies, and that's using your numbers, using the financials to make some of the managerial decisions in the company. Right? It's called managerial accounting. Mm-hmm. So, and kind of, starts with things like benchmarking, right? Comparing numbers to industry averages, but then also taking a step further, coming up with specific goals for some of those metrics for your company. Holding your team accountable to some of those metrics, going over things like cash flow, managing risk, really kind of diving deep into it. And I think that's where a lot of the fun is, right? And I think that, and I get excited because, some of the clients, especially when they first start off with us, it could be very intimidating, just kind of seeing, even listening to a podcast like this, some people may be in a situation where their books haven't even been done in the past year, right? But we can help out in situations like that, get the books caught up. And then you're able to really, think about budgeting and planning for the next year and, put yourself in a good position. And I think, I think this is a good time of year to think about a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Amen to that. And in this time of year, things quote unquote slow down. We always say, and this is the time we've all heard and people say all the time, you can work on the business, not just in the business, right? That whole deal. So this is a great time to build your team, shop your insurance agent, shop your payroll company, shop your liability insurance, your workers' comp, shop, of course, your mowers, your trimmers, your blowers, your trailers, get stuff like that in order. Shop your CPA, shop your bookkeeper. Or add those people to your team. Maybe somebody's been dropping the ball. I was actually just talking to somebody the other day. They had a bookkeeper. They're like, my folks are dropping the ball. Nothing's caught up. It's already end of year. We haven't had any conversations, any meetings really in the last couple of months. And I think they're looking to switch over to Cycle. And I get this quite a bit, and rightfully so. Hey, do you actually use Cycle? Or do you actually believe in them? Or are they just, throwing you a kickback? And I'm like, yes, we do. In fact, I told them just a couple of months ago that the new reporting, I'm not sure what you guys call it just yet. It was cycle. So, what is it called again? There you go.
So it's pretty much like an extension of some of the advisory and the reporting. It's called Cyclescape reporting.
Cyclescape. Yes. Yeah. Cool name. I like it. Well, you guys had showed me that about 3 months before now. So it was right before LAL. And I said, that is the best kept secret, like out of anybody I know offering bookkeeping services. And this is when I started the conversation with myself and Liz about potentially switching CRMs, and that's a whole other conversation for a whole other time. We still use Yardbook, love Yardbook. I'm evaluating LMN just as our company continues to grow. And if we want to set our sights on 7 figures or above, like we need more data in the company. And so I was shopping CRMs, and then Carla and Joseph said the week before LAL, hey, you got like 20 minutes to catch up on a call? We got something we've been working on all year. We're really excited about launching it. We're not sure if we're going to launch it at LAL just yet, but it'll be available in the next 30, 60 days. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And so we did this, 20, 30 minute long webinar just for us personally. They showed us this new reporting. And I went, oh my God, that is exactly what I'm looking for. That and then a budgeting tool like through like an LMN or something like that is going to be a game changer. So not to steal any of you guys' thunder, but have you guys released this yet? Do I need to hold this podcast or is that already out? I don't know.
Yeah. So we've implemented with all of our current clients, and we're starting to definitely accept clients with this new reporting. So we're very excited about it.
So Carla, if you want, let me go back to you for a second. Talking about helping people better understand their books. What are some of the, maybe somebody's evaluating a bookkeeper. They know they've heard 100 ads from 100 folks promoting bookkeepers or that they need one, which is great. I just love that the industry is leveling up in that way. What are some of the common questions or misconceptions that people have maybe when they first have that introductory, free consultation call, quote unquote, with a cycle? What are they normally struggling with, and what are some of the low hanging fruit that you guys can help them out, in that first, 90 days that if they signed up with a cycle CPA or something like that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think when we hop on a call with them, their first headache is that they've been behind on accounting work for so long. Their QuickBooks is out of whack, out of date. And a lot of the times they are a little bit like embarrassed, to show us their QuickBooks and the state of their financials and stuff like that, just because they've been so behind and they feel like, how can I ever get this caught up again? Can you guys even do that? Like, is that possible? Mm-hmm. And I like to say at this point, we're like forensic accountants too, because we've gone through hundreds of cleanup jobs in getting books up to date. So that's one of the things. And it's truly like we've done 5-year cleanup jobs, 3-year cleanup jobs. So it's something that we see often. And even if you're a small company, even the larger companies need some sort of cleanup job too. Mm-hmm. Even if they have like an accountant or something like that, they've had it before where, we get their books up to date. So that's one of the things. I'd say the second thing is that maybe they already have an accountant or bookkeeper in-house, and they're just looking for that extra help, like I need help analyzing these numbers and getting my business to that next level where I'm actually making proactive decisions on the business and I'm catching errors along the way. And so, like you said, we have the reporting and analysis tool, and we meet with our clients either monthly or quarterly to go over their financials and help them make those strategic business decisions, going over budgeting, cash flow, and catching things on the fly and being able to implement those corrective actions before they get to the year end and kind of have to look back at this, bad year.
Okay. So that's awesome.
I would say, those two things. And then a lot of them will fall into the trap where they're like, oh, well, I went with this QuickBooks Pro advisor, stuff like that in the past, and they kind of messed up my books. So I would say when you're looking at an accountant's credentials, don't just look like they're a pro advisor. They should be good. That, they're actually, a CPA or an accountant with a degree and they know QuickBooks well. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Instead of just someone who just learned QuickBooks like that.
Yeah, I always suggest that as well. I have folks sometimes. Liz was the exact same way. For years, I'm like, I think we need a bookkeeper. I had been saying this for 2 years. I met my friend Mike Bedell in 2017. And for about 12, 18 months, I guess it was, I was like, hey, I think we need a bookkeeper. Listened to a bunch of stuff, podcasts, found Tom Wheelwright, a bunch of stuff. And we were just afraid. We were embarrassed. We had, she's like, well, they're going to know how much money we have. I'm like, we have none. There's no money here. Like, we were broke. I'm like, what? More people are going to find out that we're poor? I'm like, look at the vehicles we drive. Like, you look at where we live. We were poor. Okay. It's not like, and I think that's funny. I think that's comical. For a lady, Liz did not think that's funny. She was, she's like, if you call those people, I'm going to kill you, kind of a deal. And it sucked. It really did. And it was one of those things where we had to start getting honest with ourselves about our accounting, our bookkeeping, our reporting, and, like you said, getting naked, and saying, hey, here's what I got. Here's what I don't have. But I will just tell you guys, like, maturely, if I can just level, how much longer are we going to operate that way? Like, you know what I mean? How much longer are we going to just sweep stuff under the rug? Or what's Jordan Peterson, like, it's in the fog, as Caleb Ballman says. You can't run a mature business that way forever. And you can get away with bad books and a shoebox full of receipts, maybe being an owner-operator, 50, 80 grand or less, kind of hand to mouth, robbing Peter to pay Paul. But I will just tell you, once you start getting 75, 100 grand plus in revenue, you need to start. I'm just genuinely, honestly advising you guys, telling you guys I love on you guys, hard love, tough love, whatever you want to call it. Like, you have to start putting some of these folks in place. And in every company in America, this is the biggest thing. Like, every company in America has people on staff that are bookkeepers, accountants, controllers, CFOs, and you know what I mean? Like, this is a real part of the business you got to pay attention to, is the finance side of it. I'll kick it back over to Carl or Joseph. Do you guys have anything to add on that? It's a little bit of tough love. It's not to necessarily go with cycle. It's just like, hey, just please start paying attention to this stuff. Because God forbid it gets away from you. It's going to create a whole host of problems in just a handful of years.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, Brian. And I think that ultimately, because you've been there, like, you don't want people, and this is the same thing with us, right? Like, we don't want companies to wait until they need to hire an accountant, right?
Right.
Because then it's already almost too late at that point.
Right.
And we see companies, sometimes they come to us maybe a couple 100,000 revenue. Sometimes companies, they're already over the 7-figure mark, and they've kind of hit a bottleneck within the accounting side, right? And it's kind of preventing them to go to that next level. So I would just really stress to companies listening that, accounting is really one of the first things that a company can realistically outsource.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty straightforward. And I think that it shouldn't be something that is holding a company back.
Okay.
So,
sure.
I think that's probably what I'd say.
Yeah. Carly, you have anything you want to add on that one?
No, I agree with Joe. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. When you're talking about bookkeeping, you guys offer a couple different tiers and a couple different levels. It's something I did want to highlight for just a quick minute. There's an entry level bookkeeping services that you guys offer. There's a couple other tiers along the way, including like full-time, part-time fractional CFO, they call it. What are most people utilizing with a cycle CPA? Maybe for the listener that's got a business between 50 and 250 grand, maybe it's them and a couple of guys. How can you best help them? Like, what would they be looking for typically if somebody was going to sign up at that level with a cycle CPA or something like that?
Yeah, so we get their chart of accounts set up for what a green industry chart of accounts should look like. It's basically like the buckets that all the transactions get categorized into. We'll make sure that the bookkeeping is done monthly, which is the categorizing of all the transactions. We'll reconcile the accounts monthly. So that's basically making sure whatever's in your business bank account, a credit card account, mirrors within your QuickBooks. We'll reconcile all the loans, track the depreciation. So we'll get the accounting work done monthly, and then we'll send monthly financial reports. So that way, they'll be able to see really how the company's performing month after month. And then we recommend kind of like a quarterly meeting. So every 3 months, and we typically do it via Zoom call. And a lot of times companies are even, sometimes some of the owners join in between projects where they're in their truck and they're just hopping on the meeting. And that's where we kind of, we'll kind of share our screen and go through some of the reporting with them. So that's a typical setup that we recommend for a company around that size.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that would be the first tier. It like if you look at our website, and then the quarterly meeting, that's whenever they would get the CycleScape reporting. But on a monthly basis, they get their just regular financials like P&L, balance sheet, cash flow statement.
Okay. Cool. Absolutely. And then that's what we get. I'm selfishly more excited about the CycleScape reporting. Is that going to be a quarterly thing or monthly thing? I think we were still trying to navigate that last time we were catching up, but have you guys made any decisions on that?
You could do it. You could get it either quarterly or monthly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Heck yeah. So I'm so pumped about that because when it was 17-page report, can you talk about that for a quick minute? I mean, elephant in the room. Again, I'm not here to sell or convince you guys on it. I'm telling you, for me personally, Liz and myself, I said, look at this new reporting they're coming out with. Liz is continuously getting more and more involved with the company. And really, just to be honest with you guys, imagine this. If we want to grow to a larger company, we have to spend money to do that. And we're pretty happy with where we're at, lifestyle-wise, business-wise. We're not trying to be 50 millionaires here. I'd like to be, but we're not trying to, ruin our marriage or miss our kids growing up to make more money necessarily. So we're very calculated with what we want to do. And so I told Liz, I'm like, hey, if we want to go to $1 million, we're probably gonna have to invest a couple $100,000 along the way to get there. Obviously that takes the choices in lifestyle away from material upgrades, right? If you want cars, clothes, a condo in Florida, watches, whatever, right? Just simple. It's just common sense. So I'm like, hey, if we're going to reinvest in the business, Liz is like, hey, I want to know where the money's going to because we're a team. I'm like, absolutely. So I'm really excited about this because now I can take what we plan to take from our budgeting, from our software for our CRM, plus the bookkeeping from Cycle, and I can have mature conversations and meetings with Liz and saying, here's the health of our business, here's the financials of our business, here's how we compare. So I'm just telling you guys honestly, I'm really excited about what these guys are coming out with. Do you guys want to talk about it for just a couple minutes? I think it'd be really beneficial.
And I think kind of what you were just describing, Brian, is, I think companies invest into green industry companies, versus investing in the stock market or investing in real estate because you want to get a more of a return on your money, right?
Sure.
At the end of the day. So if you do invest, a couple $100,000, typically, within the green industry, we look at, that figure is something that is actually within this report, right? It's your return on equity. So it's basically, based on the funds that have been invested in the company, what is your return on that, right? So, and we typically see a goal of anywhere around 50%, so it's really kind of that, your reward for owning a landscaping company and all the things that kind of come with it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. And when it comes to the reporting, we see a lot of the same questions. We see companies going through a lot of the same things, right? As we work with companies in the green industry. So, and that's really what this report is compiled after, right? It's basically trying to be proactive when it comes to meeting with our clients. So, as we touched on earlier, so we'll benchmark the numbers to industry averages. So that's based off of, the specific service line that the company's in. So even the specific line items. So looking at things like fuel expense or material expense, or I know a lot of companies, especially growing companies, looking at, okay, how much do companies spend in advertising and marketing? So those are all things that you can kind of compare your numbers to what the industry is doing. And you can even see what percentile your company falls in within that specific line item or
category.
Yeah. So it tells you specifically what you can work on and improve. So also, running through some of the areas of the report where you have trends, right? Because it's good to look at some of the static information and, metrics where you look at a given month and that's what the number was, right? That's what your gross margin was. But sometimes it's also good to look at some of the data more in a trend view, right? Where you're able to see over a given period of time in what direction are we headed? Are we trending down, up? Because your numbers may be better than industry average or doing well, but it could be trending down for the past 6 or so months. So it's something that you should really focus on.
We really tried to make this also like a visual report, because I know business owners don't want to just look at like numbers. So it's pretty interactive and visually entertaining to kind of go through as well.
I think that was one of the more admittedly exciting parts for me when I saw the reporting, or the mock-up, if you will, with the dummy report. I was like, oh my God, there's 1 through 5s and things are rated and categorized and color-coded. Yes. Like that's, I don't know. Maybe it's just me being a dude. You know what I mean, Joseph? Like visual. Maybe Carl is just smart and skated to where the puck is. She's like, I'm dealing with a bunch of landscapers, not accountants, So whoever made that suggestion got it right. I will just say, the other day we did a link live stream. We do them Wednesdays at 7 p.m. That's the Facebook community that has just been growing. I think there's 140 members in there or something now. I'm telling you guys, it's growing. If you're like, hey, what if that thing's going to work? I will tell you, the conversations have been awesome in there. A lot of people brainstorming, a lot of great feedback. The live streams that we do weekly at 7 are always fun. We've got some great guests coming. We do a monthly guest that's coming in there as well. I think we're trying to get Corey Ballard in there, Sam Gamble, Mark Bradley is going to be in there. I'm trying to consider alternating every other week or two, maybe having like a vendor partner, like it's not a pitch fest. I'm not trying to make it a pitch fest in there, but have my brother Adam with Branded Bull or Postcard Mania or Cycle CPA. Like these guys, these are the people that I use in my company every single day to make more money in my life. If I need to make more money or I have a problem, I solve it with these folks. I mean, this is my team. These are my go-to folks. Don't reinvent the wheel. But I had a great guy that's been part of the group and buddy of mine for a little while now, Todd Wildrick. A lot of you guys know Todd. And we were talking about Cycle on a live stream. Somebody asked a question about bookkeepers. And then I was like, hey, I'm not trying to give you a pitch. Again, when I say I'm not trying to give you a pitch, I'm not trying to give you a pitch. I'm just saying, hey, I'm excited about things that are working. And I was like, have you guys seen the new Cycle CPA reporting? And Todd, who's a client of Cycle, he goes, oh my God, have you seen the new reporting? And I'm like, I know. I'm like, I've been screaming at the top of my lungs that this stuff is awesome. And, admittedly, folks are like, Fullerton, you're just, you're always selling or trying to convince them or go to the next thing. And sure, there's an element of that. It's just trying to stay relevant with social media, but we genuinely do use and believe in the products and the people that we talk about and share with you guys. And it was just so funny because Todd went into this like 3-minute promotion of Cycle CPA, and he's like, just stop. He's like, he's selling and convincing like I am, and he's just like, stop beating your head on a wall. He's like, stop fighting it. He's like, just sign up, just figure it out. Like, these are your people. And I'm like, I know. And then people who ignore it, Joseph, 3 months later, they're like, hey, I got this problem. And I'm like, we've been telling you for 2-3 years now about Cycle or postcards or your website stinks, let's go. I think the biggest thing I struggle with is we can talk for 30-40 minutes about this stuff. And then people go, yeah, that's somebody I need to, oh yeah, my books, I got a shoebox full of receipts. My girlfriend was trying to help me out, which was what Liz was. I was telling that story earlier. I meant to circle back on that. Liz was like, I'll handle the books. I'm like, respectfully, no, like it's not your job. It's not your role. Like, we need real professionals to do this stuff. So you hear all these great guests and these great people, and you sometimes haul off and do nothing. And I was just talking about that before we hit record with Joseph. I'm like, hey, are people calling and asking for help? And he's like, oh yeah, more than ever. And that warms my heart, because the last thing we want to do is bring on a guest or waste somebody else's time, and they're trying to lend their expertise and help you guys have a better life. And then, you say, I'll get to that. And then something happens, or it snows and we go do snow for 3 days, and then you forget, or you get tired, or you get lazy, or you get complacent, which is very easy to do this time of year. It's easy to just throw a blanket on you, throw on an Afghan, sit in front of the fireplace, watch some TV, just kind of numb your skull. And I'm like, no, this is the time to pour gas in the fire, press in, build your team, recruit new people for your team, get rid of some old team members that maybe stink, that you've outgrown, or they got lazy or complacent. So I say all that to say, I'll leave Cycle's info and, in the description. Obviously, you guys know them, cyclecpa.com. We do have a code, saves you a couple $100, whatever it is, code Brian or something like that. Folks, I'm just genuinely, I care about you. I want you to make more money. I want you to have a better handle on your business. It's a necessary part of your business. Someone has to do it. Please don't ignore it. Please don't just be cash money, forever. That stuff doesn't work long term. Okay, Jeff Bezos didn't become a trillionaire almost, because he threw Amazon under the rug. Cash money, okay? Like, you can have your bookkeeping and your taxes and your accountant work with you, work with inside the system. They will help you navigate all those conversations. But I just get so excited about this because, for real, I don't think there's anything other than me meeting a Mike Bedell than having good quality bookkeepers and even a good accountant have changed more of Liz and Maya's life. Besides, I guess, like our spiritual walk, our marriage, our kids, and believing in ourselves. But at the end of the day, like having a bookkeeper, a CPA, and a good mentor friend that can pull the best out of you. Those are the 3 or 4 things that really were the catalyst for my life in 2016, 2017, 2018. And I'm telling you, they've paid hundreds of thousands of dollars in dividends. Okay. So I'm excited about it. I hate the steamroll, but I do genuinely get so excited about this. Carla and Joseph, I'll give you guys maybe, 2 minutes here. Last thoughts. Anything you guys want to piggyback on that? I just so excited about having you guys on. And I know you're busy folks, and this is the busy time of year, of course, especially with the newborn baby coming here before you know it. So.
Yeah, no, Brian, I think all those points you mentioned are huge. And again, I think it's, because we see companies kind of face a lot of those similar, issues, and just kind of as companies grow, you want to, kind of do everything you can do to help. And, I think even this time of year, I think it's a great time just to, look at your budgets and really plan for the next year. And if you can do all of that while you're looking at an accurate set of financials, I think it's just going to put you in a better position. And I do think it's a competitive advantage to know your numbers and to go into a potential bid, or, when you're doing estimating, to really understand that, no, this is the number that I need to make a profit, and, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
And I think that's very powerful. And, I think that's the way that you can really scale, as a landscape company. I think, I totally agree with all those points about Brian.
I love it. Absolutely. I literally just finished up a coaching call before this podcast. Young guy named Alan over on the West Coast. And he's younger. And he said, I struggle with charging what I'm worth. He goes, do you have any tips for that? And I said, well, let's talk about mindset. He was just struggling because he looks younger, feels younger, and is younger. But I said, number 2 is more like the business. Like, the business has to charge what it has to charge to make money. It's just a very simple formula. And so we talked a little bit about mindset, helped him gain some confidence there. But then also number 2, I just said, practically speaking, like, you have to know your numbers. You have to know how to price those landscape jobs. Nobody should be making stuff up in 2024. Okay. If you ask questions and you press people and they don't know how to answer them in 30 seconds or less with 3 sentences, and they start making it overcomplicated, those people have no idea what they're talking about, and you need to stay away from them. Okay. Yeah. Like be a fruit inspector, be a BS sniffer. Okay. Carla and Joseph are the real deal. I can't thank them enough for what they're doing and what they're sowing into the community. Again, I didn't charge them to come to LAL and say, hey, you can come speak on stage, $10,000. It's not like that. We didn't do that for Cycle. We didn't do that for Postgrammatic. We didn't do that for Branded Bull. Like, these are people that I believe in, that I want to see you guys utilize to help you guys grow your business, because of the impact that they've made on Liz and Maya's life and our businesses. So can't thank you guys enough for taking time to be on the show today. I do genuinely hope, 100 people listen in, pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I'm struggling with this. I need some help with that. I have this going on, but I need maybe some more help. Can you guys help me out? And look, folks, if it lines up and it works for you, fantastic. If it doesn't, no big deal. I'm sure Carla and Joseph would still be able to answer a question, shoot them an email, hit them up on Facebook. I actually invited them into the Link membership, not to sell Cycle CPA memberships, but to just be an advisor. I told Carla, or maybe Joseph, I emailed one of you guys. I said, hey, we're getting some questions that are above my pay grade in the group. I said, I think it was Carla. I said, would you mind answering a couple of these questions? And I said, if not, no big deal. And she said, absolutely, love to help. We invited her and Joseph into the group. So if you have any questions, whether you're part of Link, that's always a free resource in there. We're trying to make that community worth more than the membership. It is. The feedback has been phenomenal. It's worth 1,000 times more than what it costs, $29 a month. Give me a break. But if you guys need some additional help and want to get signed up with Cycle, now's the time to do it. And we'll leave links in the description for you guys to follow up with them. So, Carla, Joseph, that's what I got. I'll get off my soapbox. This time of year, I just get excited about these topics. It's the time of the year to really focus on this stuff. Obviously, tax time makes it a priority, whether you like it or not. But any final thoughts that you guys have? But if not, we'll button it up.
No, I'm loving the group. Brian, thank you for all you do and creating that helpful resource within the industry. It's awesome.
Oh, you betcha.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. And thank you for having us on, and wishing everyone a happy New Year too.
Amen to that. Awesome. All right, sounds good. I remember talking to you guys at Equip Expo, and I stormed by the booth and I did a little video on them. And Carla was she's like, I'm hungry. I want a pretzel. And I just remember that because she's like 6 months pregnant. We've been through that whole process a couple times now, and I was like, hey, don't get in between lunch and a mama, pregnant mama, So you guys
exactly.
you guys have transcended bookkeepers. You guys are friends of Liz and I's, and again, super appreciate you guys as well and what you're all doing for the community as well. So, guys, genuinely speaking, if they can do anything to help you out, I know they will. If you guys are looking to draft, bookkeepers, or if you guys are looking to add a bookkeeper, these are your guys. I think last time I heard 40, 50, 60 of you guys, I don't even know, have been signed up with Cycle or on ramping. I think they said after LAL, they sent out like 10 or 20 proposals. If they sent you one, follow up on them, get back with them, and let's get this thing moving, because they're busy people and they're hiring, for you guys. So let's backfill that and help support what they're doing as well. But Carla, Joseph, wish you guys all the best. I know we touch base probably once every week or two via email, but if you guys need anything in the meantime, always here for you as well. And if I don't talk with you for some odd reason between now and spring, good luck with the baby, and hopefully that's going to go well, and all those firsts. And if you guys ever feel like jumping off the roof, call Liz and I. We'll probably be up. We'll talk you down. So
we'll do.
Yeah.
Not that we all have it all figured out. Nothing like that. It's just we'll be up there on the same rooftop with you. So we'll all do it together. So whatever. So all right. Well, cool deal. Well, hey, you guys have a beautiful rest of the day, and guys, appreciate all of you listening in as well. If you guys need anything, shoot us an email. Always here for you. Use our code. I think it's Brian on the website. Save a couple $100 signing up with Cycle. Get that free consultation, and they can help you guys out. All right, you guys have a beautiful day. Look forward to catching up with all of you guys here on the next one.
Before you turn off the podcast, there are two things that we believe you will be highly interested in. First, if you're looking to stay up to date with the latest trends and insights in the world of lawn care, then you'll want to subscribe to our free email newsletter. It shows up in your inbox 3 times a week and includes a Monday motivational to kick off your week, a Wednesday what's new to keep you informed, and a Friday weekly recap of all the content we put out. The second thing is we have just launched Lawntrepreneur Academy Link. Now you can be a part of an exclusive community that links you to those who can help you grow in your lawn care business. Joining Lawntrepreneur Link will give you the tools that you need to stay accountable, get real-time expert advice, and find belonging in a community of folks who are passionate about the lawn care industry just like you. Visit L'EntrepreneurAcademy.com to learn how Link membership gives you unique access to monthly hangouts, bidding hour calls, coaching calls, expert lessons, and more. Stay ahead of the curve and level up your business with a membership to the L'Entrepreneur Academy link. Find an easy-to-use link in the podcast description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.